Where do I begin? This is exactly what I thought the episode would be. The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 9, the mid-season premiere, is a very, very poor episode. This episode, ladies and gentlemen, is so hard for me to talk about because it's all over the place. We have the storyline with Negan going on, and then we have the Alexandrians. And it's just a very boring, bland episode. And for Carl to die in this episode is very out of place. So, spoiler alert, Carl dies. It's very weird that this character bit the dust this early in the series. It felt out of place, extremely rushed. And before I made this review, I asked my family how they thought about this episode. They said they did not cry at all. They thought this episode was bad and boring and bland. And I agree. This is everything we've seen before in The Walking Dead. There's nothing new here. Carl, a Season 1 character, deserved so much better than this. I feel so sorry for Chandler Riggs, the kid that got fired from The Walking Dead, who plays Carl. This episode did not deliver his death in a good way. The first 10 minutes of this episode are so laughable that it's probably some of the worst it's the worst thing I've ever seen on a screen. Let's just say that. It was a joke. Alright? Starting with the dream sequence where Rick's an old man for some reason. And we see Carl and not Carl, we see Rick and Judith with Jerry. And Jerry's saying all these funny things, and it's all bright looking, and the music's all funny and sweet and calm. It's a joke. I laughed out loud. I was like, oh boy, this is not good. This is not looking good for The Walking Dead tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I was right that pretty much the whole episode is a bland thing. It shows Carl for like 10 minutes doing things that I really didn't want to see. We knew Carl got bit. We know he loves Judith. He didn't really do anything massive in the flashbacks, and we didn't really need to see all that. And the music that they chose for this scene was atrocious. It had this weird, I don't know, vibe to it. It was all happy and sceney, it was really loud. There was nothing sad about it, and it could have been a very dramatic moment in the episode, but came out as a weird, out of place moment. And it's Gimple-nizing the scene again, and I can't wait for this crappy showrunner to leave when Season 9 hits in October. So, Carl dying, this just feels out of place because Chandler Riggs was not supposed to be fired in this season, but the Gimple wanted Carl to leave because there was a dispute, something was going on. So basically, Carl got fired. All of this doesn't feel right, and plus, the actor can't act. And when you're trying to fully get into Carl's death scene in this episode, you cut back to this action scene where Morgan and Carol are trying to rescue Keen Ezekiel, and Keen Ezekiel is held up by these saviors. All of this could have been put in the mid-season finale. This is the problem with The Walking Dead. You have horrible pacing issues, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, it's not fun. Watching Carl die like this on the return of The Walking Dead is not fun. It would have worked better if it was in the middle of the season or the finale. The return for The Walking Dead is not a good time for me. It's a depressing, dull experience, and I personally did not enjoy it. Some things I did enjoy was Morgan going crazy on those saviors. I thought that was a really, really cool scene. Those action scenes were exciting and intense. A thing I hated was Gavin's death. I was really starting to like Gavin, and I thought Morgan would leave him alone. I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually not killing a villain this time. Maybe the villain will join the good guys for once. Oh, the kid kills Gavin. Oh, yeah, of course, because it always happens. I hate every character in The Walking Dead except Morgan. I think Morgan's an interesting character, but he's become such a cartoon. He's like, I have to kill Gavin, I have to kill Gavin. And why do we have all of these action scenes that lead nowhere. There's no suspense because we've already seen the trailers. We've seen Carol with Ezekiel, so we know Ezekiel survives. So where is the suspense? Where is the drama? I don't care about all of this. This was supposed to be Carl's episode, a season 1 character, one of the most complex characters of all time, one of the biggest characters of all time, and it just doesn't work. Cutting between Carl to the action scenes just feels weird. Judith as well. Judith and Carl have no relationship. I don't care how many times you say they are brother and sister. It doesn't work. They don't have a relationship. Judith is, you can kind of see the character kind of you can kind of see her smiling, like trying to hold in a laugh because of the scene that they're filming. She's just a bad actress. You could tell they dubbed over it where she was crying. They didn't show her face. You know she wasn't crying. They dubbed over it and probably had a baby crying or something. Because The Walking Dead's cheap. So these flashback, these dream sequence scenes are comical. They're probably some of the worst scenes of the episode. Carl's death was extremely disappointing. Carl, this whole season felt completely forced. When last season he was killing saviors left and right, not giving a crap, now all of a sudden he's anti-kill people mode, which is really strange and forced and rushed. It just feels like they put this storyline on us, and actually, to be honest, they did, because Carl was not supposed to die in season 8, but he got fired, so they wanted to put on this anti-no-kill mode for Carl, and hear this, guys. Carl got bit because he was trying to help Siddiq clear the walkers so they could honor Siddiq's mother. I'm not joking. That is what we have in The Walking Dead. Another really major flaw in this episode was in the beginning, near the beginning in the flashback when Morgan is walking and he starts luring these walkers. I'm like, okay, why are you luring the walkers? And then these saviors come out of the door and the walkers eat the saviors. But I'm like, how did you know they would come out of the door at that exact moment? Like, how did you know that? I don't know. And Gavin's like, Negan's gonna kill you now. You hear me? Negan's gonna kill you now. Rick put this on. Rick did this, blah, 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 blah. I liked you, Ezekiel, blah, blah, blah. Atrocious writing. Their writing is awful. The Rick stuff with Carl, I'm like, get on with it. Why did we have to have a whole episode of Carl dying like this? It should have been in the series finale or something. Why is this in season 8, episode 9? The Return of the Walking Dead. The Return. Ooh, awesome. Yay. Gonna waste my 1 hour of Sunday night watching Carl die and Carol and Morgan rescuing Keen Ezekiel, who we already know survives and is well and fine. So where's the suspense? Where is the horror? The Walking Dead sucks now. We knew Carl would die. He got bit. We saw in the last episode he got bit. So where is the drama, the suspense? They could have easily killed Carl off in episode 8 and I would have been fine with it. They did not need a whole episode of Carl just sitting there, dying. Did it go anywhere? No. He said something to Judith, but they could have cut that out altogether because Judith is such a poor actress. She probably won't even remember that. I don't even really care either. It looks like Rick doesn't even care in the next episode. Rick he's just on the walkie-talkie. He keeps saying to Negan, "I'm gonna kill you." So everything he said to Carl really just went through his ears at this point. Because of course Carl's death was kind of not meant to happen, so they just read it in there at the last moment, and you can really tell. So all of this stuff could have been cut out in this episode, and Carl should have blown his brains out in episode 8. He could have given his father, Rick, the cards that he made, and Rick could have read them in episode 9, and we could have seen a Walker horde come into Alexandria, and we could have had the group fight their way out and bury Carl. You know, it would have been really intense to see them drag Carl's body out as they slip in the mud. There's walkers everywhere. It would be disgusting and rotten. But no, we see Carl lay there the whole episode just talking about flashbacks of stuff we already know. We already knew he regretted killing that kid in season 3. Why bring it up again? We know he regretted it. He was a kid, just like Rick said in this episode. So why bring that up? Oh my god. We know that Rick brought the people into the prison back in season 4, Woodbury. We know they brought them and blah, blah, blah. Why do they have to remind us of such scenes in The Walking Dead? Just Carl dying was the whole episode. And I knew that would have happened. If you saw my video that I made like yesterday, it was talking about, you know, the second half of The Walking Dead, season 8 in a nutshell. I predicted that Carl would just die the whole episode with flashbacks, and I was correct. It was a very bland, poor episode. The pacing is off. The writing is off. The look of the show, just the overall style of the show is off. It's worn. It's just worn off. And they need Angela Kane right now, because these next episodes of Season 8 will probably kill the series completely. The series is already dead, but whoever is left on this atrocious show will probably most likely leave. I think this episode deserves a C. I thought the action scenes were fun in a couple scenes, even though Gavin's death really made me mad. Carl's death was unnecessary. It felt out of place. It felt like it was just pushed on the audience. Kind of like Del's death in Season 2. Remember when Del just randomly died? It kind of felt like that, you know? It did not need to happen right now. Carl had so much more going on. He had so much more potential. And almost every single thing we saw him do in this episode could have been cut out completely. Very, very bland, poor episode. I rated a C. And you see comicbook.com saying, oh, this is the best episode since No Way Out. Oh my gosh, this is an amazing episode. Whoa, it's action-packed. You have greatness going on, blah, blah, blah. Guys, an action scene does not make a good episode. We have Morgan being a cartoon buffoon saying he has to kill Gavin for some reason. He has to kill these people for some reason. But in some scenes you see him regret it, and then other scenes you see him kind of enjoy it. So I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. And then we see the Alexandria characters, Daryl, Tara, Rosita, half of the episode, and then they vanish the rest of the episode. It's just characters are splitting up everywhere. We don't even see Aaron. We don't even see the Saviors in this episode. We don't, we don't see the Hilltop. We don't see the Sanctuary. None of it. Horrible episode. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I rated a C. For all of you Walking Dead fanboys, just shut up. Just really shut up. Stop supporting this garbage show. I expected this to be a bad episode. I was right. It was a poor episode, and The Walking Dead needs to die. Now, you know what I am excited for? Fear the Walking Dead Season 4. I was actually expecting a trailer tonight. I don't know if that's crazy or not. We did get a Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 poster. I have it on my channel so you guys can check it out. I really was expecting a poster. Unfortunately, we did not get a poster. They might release one on Talking Dead tonight, but I doubt it. Trailer, sorry. I don't know if they would release a trailer on Talking Dead tonight, but I hope they do as a kind of a surprise. So guys, I rate this episode a C. Nothing surprising, nothing shocking. Carl died in this episode. They rescued Ezekiel. If you didn't see episode 8 or this episode and go to episode 10, then you won't even really know of any difference. Really, Gavin's dead. Carl's dead. Carl dying is a big thing, but really it's not. And if Carl died back in season 1, 2, and 3, it would have been really big. But now, all of the stupid stuff they pushed on his character feels out of place, rushed, and forced. The writing isn't making it better either. The comical, cartoon writing is still present on this series right now. This episode was littered with it. Themes that don't make sense, like Morgan leading the walkers in the beginning for the Saviors to come out and get ripped apart. I don't know how he knew they were coming out at that very second. Bad writing. The look of the show looks insanely low budget. I don't know what happened to The Walking Dead. Remember season 1, the realistic gunfights they had? And then we get this? I don't know. It was disappointing. It really was. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, do whatever the heck you want to do. I might do another video later tonight, talking about the top 5 themes I hated about this episode, and then I might make a separate one talking about some of the things I liked about the episode, but I don't know about that. But I will talk about the things I hated about the episode later tonight, so stay tuned for that. Alright, everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. Bye, everyone.